So Jeff, we're here today and just wanted to share with our viewers a little bit about a question I get asked a lot as we go out and we speak, and I thought we could address it together was what has been the success stories of Urban Vision that we've worked with children, and my beginning answer to that always has been the last several years that we kind of started anew when we came into this facility 5 years ago. And we started over with the younger generation of the elementary age and those who were older who really wanted to grab a hold because they're more moldable. And today we're talking a little bit about Juvante, and he's one of those who grabbed a hold of it at an older age and wanted to change his life, and talk about him being kind of a goal setter for him. Just something as you think about Juvante and him being that trailblazer for us, how do you see how he's helped mold what you do today, maybe what you do today?
Yeah, I mean, when I think of Juvante, he's just a great kid. He's 19 now, I still see him as a kiddo. But I think that's a big part of it. I think there's at least two things that I think are really important. One is just the heart of the kids to start with. You have to start with a heart that says, I want to follow, and I'm serious about my relationship with Christ. And the second thing, and that's what our program's all about, is really providing an opportunity then for the heart that already wants it, and a clear pathway of this is where I can go. And so for Juvante, his heart for that really came through. It's been about 3 to 4 years ago now. We had a teen program where there was lots of teens here, but there wasn't really the opportunity to go really deep. And when we changed that and said, hey, we're just going to go to a Bible study, many of the kids left and said, well, it's not the fun, it's not this, it's not that. And the ones that stuck around, Juvante being one of the prime ones, was teach me more about God, let me know more about Him. And it was a core group of just a few of those, Juvante being one of them, that were asking so many deep questions and wondering, how does this faith of mine that I found affect my life? And that's where his heart came through. And then it was for us as a job, I think in leadership, of saying, okay, now how do I provide opportunities for him to grow in that? And really him molding what we do. In my mind, in developing leaders, it's who is it that God wants this person to become? And He's made us each different, unique, and then saying, yeah, okay, what is Juvante like? And the big contrast I saw was him and Micah, your son, very different personalities, but both having a heart of saying that and saying, yeah, we have to develop things different ways so that we can go different directions, but still same end goal. Who is it that God really wants them to become, and using their gifts and the way that God has made them to serve Him to the best that they can.
How do you see, because Juvante had the opportunity, because we started a scholarship program, we're looking at starting for college, and specifically for Juvante, and we had a donor come along and said, hey, why not start now? We'll help you send him to CBCA if he wants to do that. And he chose to do that. How do you see his experience at CBCA and that opportunity through the scholarship that he got accepted and got the scholarship as well? How do you see that impacting him when he was coming back and working within your group? How did that impact him?
Negatively at the beginning. But if it makes sense, I think that even that negative was a positive. Because when he made the switch, it was very, very difficult for him grade-wise. He really had to work, and I think it was a major shock. But where I think that's a positive is I think normally what would have happened was he would have been build up, and would have experienced that big crash when he initially went into university and maybe even dropped out then, because that's the status quo of what happens a lot. So it was a little bit negative at first. I think he suffered a little bit emotionally of just saying, wow,
this is hard.
This is hard, yeah. And so I think that way, but experiencing that when we're still around him while he's still not taking that big step yet, where we can encourage and push along, I think that in the long run was a huge positive that way. Maybe helped him a little bit to be more realistic on, this is going to be hard and I'm really going to have to work.
College isn't going to be too easy.
Yeah, and not that I see every kid going on to college either, but it's back to that same thing of who is it that God wants to develop this person to be? And if that involves college, again, the same thing back to, how do I provide opportunity for them to get to where it is that God wants to take them?
And I see that with Juvante being the trailblazer. Now we have 8th and 9th graders and younger who are saying, can I go to CVCA? And we get the chance to prepare them. We learned from Juvante that getting them in earlier into high school and getting them ready for a CVCA is very important if that's the route that they want to take to go to college and prep for college. But as you say, not every child is destined for college, but we want to give them the full opportunities that they can have through college or vocational training, and that's what we try to do with each kid. But anyway, thanks for listening, and look forward to seeing next week a video on Juvante sharing from his point of view how these last 3 to 4 years have affected his life.